Numbers 25 verses 1 to 18. Worship of Baal of Peor. While Israel was staying at Shittim, the people began to have sexual relations with the women of Moab. These invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods. Thus Israel yoked itself to the Baal of Peor, and the Lord's anger was kindled against Israel. The Lord said to Moses, "Take all the chiefs of the people, and impale them in the sun before the Lord, in order that the fierce anger of the Lord may turn away from Israel." And Moses said to the judges of Israel, "Each of you shall kill any of your people who have yoked themselves to the Baal of Peor." Just then one of the Israelites came and brought a Midianite woman into his family, in the sight of Moses and in the sight of the whole congregation of the Israelites, while they were weeping at the entrance of the tent of meeting. When Phinehas son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he got up and left the congregation. Taking a spear in his hand, he went after the Israelite man into the tent, and pierced the two of them, the Israelite and the woman, through the belly. So the plague was stopped among the people of Israel. Nevertheless those that died by the plague were 24,000. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Phinehas son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the Israelites by manifesting such zeal among them on my behalf that in my jealousy I did not consume the Israelites. Therefore say, I hereby grant him my covenant of peace. It shall be for him and for his descendants after him a covenant of perpetual priesthood, because he was zealous for his God and made atonement for the Israelites." The name of the slain Israelite man, who was killed with the Midianite woman, was Zimri son of Salu, head of an ancestral house belonging to the Simonites. The name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosbi daughter of Zur, who was the head of a clan, an ancestral house in Midian. The Lord said to Moses, "Harass the Midianites and defeat them, for they have harassed you by the trickery with which they deceived you in the affair of Peor, and in the affair of Cosbi, the daughter of a leader of Midian, their sister. She was killed on the day of the plague that resulted from Peor." Numbers 26 verses 1 to 65. A census of the new generation. After the plague the Lord said to Moses and to Eleazar son of Aaron the priest, "Take a census of the whole congregation of the Israelites, from 20 years old and upward, by their ancestral houses, everyone in Israel able to go to war." Moses and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan opposite Jericho, saying, "Take a census of the people from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moses." The Israelites who came out of the land of Egypt were Reuben, the firstborn of Israel. The descendants of Reuben, of Hanok, the clan of the Hanokites, of Palu, the clan of the Paluites, of Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites, of Carmi, the clan of the Carmites. These are the clans of the Reubenites. The number of those enrolled was 43,730. And the descendants of Palu, Eliab. The descendants of Eliab, Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. These are the same Dathan and Abiram, chosen from the congregation, who rebelled against Moses and Aaron in the company of Korah, when they rebelled against the Lord, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up along with Korah, when that company died, when the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a warning. Notwithstanding, the sons of Korah did not die. The descendants of Simeon by their clans, of Nemuel, the clan of the Nemuelites, of Jamin, the clan of the Jaminites, of Jachin, the clan of the Jachinites, of Zerah, the clan of the Zerahites, of Shaul, the clan of the Shaulites. These are the clans of the Simonites, 22,200. The children of Gad by their clans, of Zephon, the clan of the Zephonites, of Haggi, the clan of the Haggites, of Shuni, the clan of the Shunites, of Ozni, the clan of the Oznites, of Eri, the clan of the Arites, of Arad, the clan of the Aradites, of Areli, the clan of the Arelites. These are the clans of the Gadites. The number of those enrolled was 40,500. The sons of Judah, Er and Onan. Er and Onan died in the land of Canaan. The descendants of Judah by their clans were, of Shelah, the clan of the Shelonites, of Perez, the clan of the Perizzites, of Zerah, the clan of the Zerahites. The descendants of Perez were, of Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites, of Hamul, the clan of the Hamulites. These are the clans of Judah, The number of those enrolled was 76,500. The descendants of Issachar by their clans. Of Tola, the clan of the Tolates. Of Puvah, the clan of the Punites. Of Jashub, the clan of the Jashubites. Of Shimron, the clan of the Shimronites. These are the clans of Issachar, 64,300 enrolled. The descendants of Zebulun by their clans. Of Sered, the clan of the Saradites. Of Elon, the clan of the Elonites. Of Yaliel, the clan of the Jalielites. These are the clans of the Zebulunites. The number of those enrolled was 60,500. The sons of Joseph by their clans. Manasseh and Ephraim. The descendants of Manasseh. Of Machir, the clan of the Machirites, and Machir was the father of Gilead. Of Gilead, the clan of the Gileadites. These are the descendants of Gilead. Of Ezer, the clan of the Ezerites. Of Helek, the clan of the Helekites, and of Asriel, the clan of the Asrielites, and of Shechem, the clan of the Shechemites, and of Shemida, the clan of the Shemidates, and of Hepher, the clan of the Hepherites. Now Zelophehad son of Hepher had no sons, but daughters, and the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the clans of Manasseh. The number of those enrolled was 52,700. These are the descendants of Ephraim according to their clans. Of Shuthelah, the clan of the Shuthelahites. Of Becher, the clan of the Becherites. Of Tahan, the clan of the Tahanites. And these are the descendants of Shuthelah. Of Aaron, the clan of the Aaronites. These are the clans of the Ephraimites. The number of those enrolled was 32,500. These are the descendants of Joseph by their clans. The descendants of Benjamin by their clans. Of Bela, the clan of the Belates. Of Ashbel, the clan of the Ashbelites. Of Ahiram, the clan of the Ahiramites. Of Shepham, the clan of the Shuphamites. Of Hupham, the clan of the Huphamites. And the sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman. Of Ard, the clan of the Ardites. Of Naaman, the clan of the Naamites. These are the descendants of Benjamin by their clans. The number of those enrolled was 45,600. These are the descendants of Dan by their clans. Of Shuhem, the clan of the Shumites. These are the clans of Dan by their clans. All the clans of the Shumites, 64,400 enrolled. The descendants of Asher by their families. Of Imnah, the clan of the Imnites. Of Ishvi, the clan of the Ishvites. Of Beriah, the clan of the Beriites. Of the descendants of Beriah. Of Heber, the clan of the Heberites. Of Malchiel, the clan of the Malchielites. And the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. These are the clans of the Asherites. The number of those enrolled was 53,400. The descendants of Naphtali by their clans. Of Jaziel, the clan of the Jazelites. Of Guni, the clan of the Gunites. Of Jezer, the clan of the Jezerites. Of Shillem, the clan of the Shillemites. These are the Naphtalites by their clans. The number of those enrolled was 45,400. This was the number of the Israelites enrolled, 601,730. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "To these the land shall be apportioned for inheritance according to the number of names. To a large tribe you shall give a large inheritance, and to a small tribe you shall give a small inheritance. Every tribe shall be given its inheritance according to its enrollment. But the land shall be apportioned by lot. According to the names of their ancestral tribes they shall inherit. Their inheritance shall be apportioned according to lot between the larger and the smaller. This is the enrollment of the Levites by their clans. Of Gershon, the clan of the Gershonites. Of Kohath, the clan of the Kohathites. Of Merari, the clan of the Merarites. These are the clans of Levi, the clan of the Libnites, the clan of the Hebronites, the clan of the Malites, the clan of the Mushites, the clan of the Korahites. Now Kohath was the father of Amram. The name of Amram's wife was Jochebed daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Egypt, and she bore to Amram Aaron, Moses, and their sister Miriam. To Aaron were born Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died when they offered unholy fire before the Lord. The number of those enrolled was 23,000, every male 1 month old and upward, for they were not enrolled among the Israelites because there was no allotment given to them among the Israelites. These were those enrolled by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who enrolled the Israelites in the plains of Moab by the Jordan opposite Jericho. Among these there was not one of those enrolled by Moses and Aaron the priest, who had enrolled the Israelites in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord had said of them, "They shall die in the wilderness." Not one of them was left, except Caleb son of Jephunneh and Joshua son of Nun. Numbers 27 verses 1 to 23. The daughters of Zelophehad. The daughters of Zelophehad came forward. Zelophehad was son of Hepher son of Gilead son of Machir son of Manasseh son of Joseph, a member of the Manassite clans. The names of his daughters were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They stood before Moses, Eleazar the priest, the leaders, and all the congregation at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and they said, "Our father died in the wilderness. He was not among the company of those who gathered themselves together against the Lord in the company of Korah, but died for his own sin, and he had no sons. Why should the name of our father be taken away from his clan because he had no son? Give to us a possession among our father's brothers." Moses brought their case before the Lord. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "The daughters of Zelophehad are right in what they are saying. You shall indeed let them possess an inheritance among their father's brothers and pass the inheritance of their father on to them. You shall also say to the Israelites, if a man dies and has no son, then you shall pass his inheritance on to his daughter. If he has no daughter, then you shall give his inheritance to his brothers. If he has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to the nearest kinsman of his clan, and he shall possess it. It shall be for the Israelites a statute and ordinance, as the Lord commanded Moses. The Lord said to Moses, "Go up this mountain of the Abarim range, and see the land that I have given to the Israelites. When you have seen it, you also shall be gathered to your people, as your brother Aaron was, because you rebelled against my word in the wilderness of Zin when the congregation quarreled with me. You did not show my holiness before their eyes at the waters. These are the waters of Meribah Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin." Moses spoke to the Lord, saying, "Let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, appoint someone over the congregation who shall go out before them and come in before them, who shall lead them out and bring them in, so that the congregation of the Lord may not be like sheep without a shepherd." So the Lord said to Moses, "Take Joshua son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay your hand upon him. Have him stand before Eleazar the priest and all the congregation, and commission him in their sight. You shall give him some of your authority, so that all the congregation of the Israelites may obey. But he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall inquire for him by the decision of the Urim before the Lord. At his word they shall go out, and at his word they shall come in, both he and all the Israelites with him, the whole congregation." So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua and had him stand before Eleazar the priest and the whole congregation. He laid his hands on him and commissioned him, as the Lord had directed through Moses. Numbers 28 verses 1 to 31. Daily offerings. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Command the Israelites, and say to them, My offering, the food for my offerings by fire, my pleasing odor, you shall take care to offer to me at its appointed time. And you shall say to them, This is the offering by fire that you shall offer to the Lord, 2 male lambs a year old without blemish, daily, as a regular offering. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at twilight. Also 1/10 of an ephah of choice flour for a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of beaten oil. It is a regular burnt offering, ordained at Mount Sinai for a pleasing odor, an offering by fire to the Lord. Its drink offering shall be 1/4 of a hin for each lamb. In the sanctuary you shall pour out a drink offering of strong drink to the Lord. The other lamb you shall offer at twilight with a grain offering and a drink offering like the one in the morning. You shall offer it as an offering by fire, a pleasing odor to the Lord." Sabbath offerings. On the Sabbath day, 2 male lambs a year old without blemish, and 2/10 of an ephah of choice flour for a grain offering, mixed with oil, and its drink offering. This is the burnt offering for every Sabbath, in addition to the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. Monthly offerings. At the beginnings of your months you shall offer a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old without blemish. Also 3/10 of an ephah of choice flour for a grain offering mixed with oil, for each bull, and 2/10 of choice flour for a grain offering mixed with oil, for the one ram, and 1/10 of choice flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for every lamb, a burnt offering of pleasing odor, an offering by fire to the Lord. Their drink offerings shall be half a hin of wine for a bull, 1/3 of a hin for a ram, and 1/4 of a hin for a lamb. This is the burnt offering of every month throughout the months of the year. And there shall be one male goat for a sin offering to the Lord. It shall be offered in addition to the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. Offerings at Passover. On the 14th day of the first month there shall be a Passover offering to the Lord. And on the 15th day of this month is a festival. 7 days shall unleavened bread be eaten. On the first day there shall be a holy convocation. You shall not work at your occupations. You shall offer an offering by fire, a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old. See that they are without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of choice flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah shall you offer for a bull, and 2/10 for a ram. 1/10 shall you offer for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, to make atonement for you. You shall offer these in addition to the burnt offering of the morning, which belongs to the regular burnt offering. In the same way you shall offer daily, for 7 days, the food of an offering by fire, a pleasing odor to the Lord. It shall be offered in addition to the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. And on the 7th day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not work at your occupations. Offerings at the Festival of Weeks. On the day of the first fruits, when you offer a grain offering of new grain to the Lord at your Festival of Weeks, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not work at your occupations. You shall offer a burnt offering, a pleasing odor to the Lord, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old. Their grain offering shall be of choice flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each bull, 2/10 for 1 ram, 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, with 1 male goat, to make atonement for you. In addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering, you shall offer them and their drink offering. They shall be without blemish. Numbers 29 verses 1 to 40. Offerings at the Festival of Trumpets. On the first day of the 7th month you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not work at your occupations. It is a day for you to blow the trumpets, and you shall offer a burnt offering, a pleasing odor to the Lord. 1 young bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of choice flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of 1 ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, with 1 male goat for a sin offering, to make atonement for you. These are in addition to the burnt offering of the new moon and its grain offering, and the regular burnt offering and its grain offering, and their drink offerings, according to the ordinance for them, a pleasing odor, an offering by fire to the Lord. Offerings on the Day of Atonement. On the 10th day of this 7th month you shall have a holy convocation, and deny yourselves. You shall do no work. You shall offer a burnt offering to the Lord, a pleasing odor, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old. They shall be without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of choice flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, with 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the sin offering of atonement, and the regular burnt offering and its grain offering, and their drink offerings. Offerings at the Festival of Booths. On the 15th day of the 7th month you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not work at your occupations. You shall celebrate a festival to the Lord 7 days. You shall offer a burnt offering, an offering by fire, a pleasing odor to the Lord, 13 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old. They shall be without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of choice flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams, and 1/10 for each of the 14 lambs. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. On the 2nd day, 12 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs as prescribed in accordance with their number, Also 1 male goat for a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and their drink offerings. On the third day, 11 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs as prescribed in accordance with their number. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. On the fourth day, 10 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs as prescribed in accordance with their number. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. On the fifth day, 9 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs as prescribed in accordance with their number. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and its drink offering. On the sixth day, 8 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs as prescribed in accordance with their number. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offerings. On the seventh day, 7 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs as prescribed in accordance with their number. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering and its drink offering. On the 8th day you shall have a solemn assembly. You shall not work at your occupations. You shall offer a burnt offering, an offering by fire, a pleasing odor to the Lord, 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old without blemish, and the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bull, for the ram, and for the lambs as prescribed in accordance with their number. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and its drink offering. These you shall offer to the Lord at your appointed festivals, in addition to your votive offerings and your freewill offerings, as your burnt offerings, your grain offerings, your drink offerings, and your offerings of well-being. So Moses told the Israelites everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Numbers 30 verses 1 to 16. Vows made by women. Then Moses said to the heads of the tribes of the Israelites, "This is what the Lord has commanded. When a man makes a vow to the Lord, or swears an oath to bind himself by a pledge, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. When a woman makes a vow to the Lord, or binds herself by a pledge, while within her father's house, in her youth, and her father hears of her vow or her pledge by which she has bound herself, and says nothing to her, then all her vows shall stand, and any pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand. But if her father expresses disapproval to her at the time that he hears of it, no vow of hers, and no pledge by which she has bound herself, shall stand, and the Lord will forgive her, because her father had expressed to her his disapproval. If she marries, while obligated by her vows or any thoughtless utterance of her lips by which she has bound herself, and her husband hears of it and says nothing to her at the time that he hears, then her vows shall stand, and her pledges by which she has bound herself shall stand. But if, at the time that her husband hears of it, he expresses disapproval to her, then he shall nullify the vow by which she was obligated, or the thoughtless utterance of her lips, by which she bound herself, and the Lord will forgive her. But every vow of a widow or of a divorced woman, by which she has bound herself, shall be binding upon her. And if she made a vow in her husband's house, or bound herself by a pledge with an oath, and her husband heard it and said nothing to her, and did not express disapproval to her, then all her vows shall stand, and any pledge by which she bound herself shall stand. But if her husband nullifies them at the time that he hears them, then whatever proceeds out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning her pledge of herself, shall not stand. Her husband has nullified them, and the Lord will forgive her. Any vow or any binding oath to deny herself, her husband may allow to stand, or her husband may nullify. But if her husband says nothing to her from day to day, then he validates all her vows, or all her pledges, by which she is obligated. He has validated them, because he said nothing to her at the time that he heard of them. But if he nullifies them some time after he has heard of them, then he shall bear her guilt. These are the statutes that the Lord commanded Moses concerning a husband and his wife, and a father and his daughter while she is still young and in her father's house.